Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to my Sim. Thank you so much for the support. So, I am going to start by saying that some people actually do not know what they are doing. Some people just want to continue to tap dancers, the coons, but I am just going to leave them there. Some people needs to be left behind because for a black woman to come out to say that black people are losing their culture because of the way they behave, because of their, you know, whatever she has to say, but that is in her pocket because you and I know that she is tap dancing for white people. It's all great. Now, let's talk about revolution. Let's talk about how do black people make things happen for themselves. Let's talk about how a black culture is actually American culture. The truth is that you and I know that black people's culture is like American culture. And also the way black history is like worldwide history. Some people will refuse to understand this. Some people will refuse to acknowledge it, but this is what it is. So at some point, this man actually said that a black American built this country, right? But the same person that said black American built this country is the same man coming out to remove everything that got to do with black people. DEI, take it away. Black history, remove it. Black booze, remove it. Why? Because it hurts their feelings, because it hurt their fragility and all that. But you and I know that these people have masterminded what they are doing to black people to this very moment. And I am going to say this. If anybody is waiting for these people to come and dismantle the system, trust me, you will wait till like forever. Why did I say this? I said this because this system benefits them more than any other person. Let's get into it.
African Americans built this nation. You built this thing. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
What's insidious about watching that clip is that he's currently assaulting all the funding and research that backs black history, as well as making sure he's reading it out the classroom. We already know black history was one of the electives and not part of the core credit, you know what I'm saying, not part of the core credits. But now he's trying to even further marginalize it and make it what's criminalized. Then him using the word that we were just starting to get the credit for how we built this country at the same time, he's trying to trivialize how a lot of us are most of the times overqualified for positions. You feel me? They say that we are unqualified, that we have no credit, that we are mediocre. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, was hooting and hollering, chucking and jiving for our vote and saying that we were finally starting to get credit for how we built this country. And you've made it illegal for us to teach the history of how we built this country. Education is elevation.
Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
Seriously, I'm going to keep saying this until I die. American culture is black American culture. It just gets filtered out and watered down and whitewashed until they can give credit to a white guy. Jazz, country, rock and roll, rap, all black American creation. And then you want to move to the protest side. Bro, not only did Black Lives Matter spark actual other things like Asian lives matter and queer lives matter and trans lives matter. But on the flip side, when racist assholes were trying to say, well, blue lives matter, through humanity, what happened is it translated into less of a sarcastic thing and more into a genuine, like, support your nurses and firefighters and EMTs. So even the people who might be the most discriminatory, they got to think of black American for their own fucking views.
I'm so grateful that we're in a day and age where people are finally starting to keep it real. Finally. We literally created all of this shit. The whole entire system. There just wasn't a thing such as patents and all of that when we created it. So it was stolen. The whiskey that you're drinking, created by a black person. The things that you use around your house, created by a black person. Black American person. If you're a woman and you get your menstrual and you use a pad, created by a black American woman. Like, we literally created all of this shit. There's a plethora of things that we could run off, but it was stolen. And that's just the truth. I mean, take a look around how our very culture is like recycled and reused and outsourced, and everybody is pulling from Black American culture. And this is why we get so much hate, because love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love you so much that they start to hate you. They imitate you, they emulate you, they want to displace you, and they want to replace you. Destiny swapping. Just keep your eyes open. But they know. We even teach them how to wash their ass properly. I've seen some videos of white women saying, oh my God, I found Black women washing up, bathing TikTok, shower TikTok. They like, when they was little kids, they used to get in a pool and their mother said that they was clean. I seen another woman that was in the army and she said that Black women taught her how to properly bathe herself. A clear woman. She didn't know proper hygiene. Some of them was wiping back to front, not front to back. If you know, you know. If you're a woman, you know. I had a white friend. I'm just going to keep it real. We was out, story time, quick story time. This is long, so maybe you want to press to hold it down for the 2 times. Quick story time. We was out and we was hanging out. We went to a bodega like in the city. Went downstairs. She sat her bare ass on the toilet. I screamed. I said, bitch, you better not ever sit your bare ass on a public restroom toilet without at least putting some tissue down. Squat. From then on out, she never sits her ass on a toilet, a bare public toilet. She learned that from me. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
White people don't want to revolution. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I don't even think they like to revolution. I think they just want to riot. So that's why, like, I don't do any type of, and this isn't newsflash, not racist. This is understanding history. The reason why I say that is I've been confused as to, and again, this isn't against George Floyd or his family or anything. I've been confused as to how America, and Hulu especially, traditional mainstream media, almost like attempted to equate George Floyd to MLK. And I was confused because I'm like, nothing against George Floyd and his character or his life, but MLK is like a Michael Jackson of political theory and political revolutionary in our field as Black people. And we have a million Black people that are in alignment with and much closer to actualizing the mission and living in the image of MLK. That could have been promoted, could have been supported, could have been pigeonholed. I hope that's the right word, probably using the wrong one. I just wanted to throw something in there. But I've realized that these, like, white liberals, I think, if it's like whoever organizes them, they've realized they can't just outwardly riot without being forced to take accountability directly. So they have to triangulate their desire to riot in our desire as Black people to throw a revolution. And because they are triangulating their desire to riot with our revolution, they end up sabotaging our revolution just to have another opportunity, like literally another festival weekend, to go break shit, blow shit up, and then discredit the movement that we have going. And then also blame shift all the responsibility of the rioting to our people and our cause rather than white people who just wanted to riot. And I speak about this very specifically in my No Land for Good Men series, how I say that white liberals like to bring in marginalized people and say, hey, do you want an opportunity at punching your oppressor in the face? Just do X, Y, and Z. And then they end up doing that to set us up to get our heads punted off of our necks. And then when we're laying there deceased, they will end up taking that opportunity as a means of being the morally superior one and calling out the atrocity, or they'll just replace the power that we were supposed to have, take it for themselves, and then fall in line with the system that they were always seeking power out of. They just never knew how they were going to get it fairly, because they never were going to get it fairly. So they had to manipulate somebody else to be their footstool into this position. And then Black people are sitting here asking what's happening with our human rights, what's happening with our human rights. Like, dude, we keep giving these people authority. It's like, and again, I'm not just going to sit here and say things like segregation or whatnot, but the entirety of United States politics is white on white crime. The entirety of United States politics is white on white crime from a class standpoint. But because white people and their inner held philosophy is so deeply rooted in fear and insecurity, it's easy to manipulate them that those pains and grievances are coming from their forced existence with other people, non-perfect people, rather than the immense wealth inequality and exploitation of humanity that is happening from their top-down system, that they think that all they have to do is climb a ladder up to reach. So another thing I want to say is, I will never, ever, ever trust somebody who calls himself a revolutionary, who thinks that, like, who believes even 1% in the well-being of the system. Because if you do, fight to make the system better. But if you genuinely believe that this system is done, then fight for that. And there's a huge gray area, especially in like American liberals and leftists, to who is genuinely fighting for power in the system and who is fighting for power outside of the world, because they know that the only way that they will ever have power is outside of this system when this system is already torn down. And again, I'll say it. I've said it like probably 5 times already in the past like week. This country still exists if we stop participating in the political system. Because you know what's funny? When we stop participating in their political system, at least from like an awareness standpoint, we stop involving ourselves in the mainstream sensationalist politics that are getting our anxiety and our depression all riled up. And we focus on active information sharing. We focus on data archiving and making sure that we have our own records and history. We make sure that we're sharing relevant information with people who can use it, and we're building the consciousness of our community, making our own communication networks, because we have the technology to do so at such a free, for lack of a better term, free-based level. We're gonna make this full circle now. White people don't learn. Like every generation, they just don't learn. So when it comes to something like social activism, especially in this internet age where a lot of things have been like extremely performance-based or performative, they said to get the change that we want, which at the end of the day was just to win an election. They don't give a fuck about us. They just wanted to keep winning elections. But they knew they had to give in a little bit and make a black person the president, so then they can be like, okay, now these people think that they're actually in our party. Obama was just a mask. Because Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi were really running his whole entire presidency from behind the scenes, but you guys don't want to admit that because you want to blame all the responsibility onto a black man rather than a scapegoat figurehead that was chosen. They then get smart and say, we're going to take the priceless energy that is the black soul, and we are going to beat it like a drum until it starts to bleed something that we want, energy. What is that beating like a drum we're going to do? We're going to capitalize atop that George Floyd situation, because we're not going to sit here and act like that doesn't happen every single week, damn near every day in this country, every state at the same time. But we're going to take that specific George Floyd case, we're going to take a bunch of people who have nothing fucking better to do because of COVID, and we are going to turn the death of this black leader, this martyr against the American system, into fueling that entire black community into an economic fund that is Black Lives Matter, which will again then get used to pay for the Democratic Party, because it's not being used to help black people. Oh, actually, mind you, it got used to buy somebody a mansion, pay somebody's unemployed brother $1 million salary, but that's a whole other conversation. And then we can get black people and their economic support and their cultural backing to literally support anything we fucking do by putting ourselves in the morally superior position by saying, well, if you don't stand with us in Black Lives Matter, then you must be a racist. Point the finger at the racist. Mind you, the people that we're pointing the finger at are definitely racist, but the people who point the finger to are also racist. They just hope that you don't see that they're being racist as well. Black people, I keep on trying to tell you that nobody has our back in this country. Nobody has our back. We are still the slaves that produced cotton and tobacco in this country. We built this American economy as tools That's even the reason why I even speak so much about artificial intelligence. Like, it's literally the one of one story to global colonization and using black people. Black people are the Western world's first human technology. Mind you, I'm not saying this to discredit the indigenous people, because I think that there's droves of archives of indigenous knowledge and wisdom and culture and community that we are not being told existed for the sake of downplaying the genocide that it took to manifest the United States of America. Because it wasn't just 50 million randoms, 100 million randoms that had to go. This place was something completely unlike you'd ever seen before. And everybody fucking knew it, and that's why it had to get colonized. And I need you guys to start digging into your history beyond what the fuck they tell you in those bullshit ass history books. Because I'm telling you right now, especially you black fucking people, if you looking at me now, we had kingdoms. We were fucking gods on earth before these people parasited off of us and used us to prolong their own livelihood on a planet that they fucking hate. Why are we allowing them to decide what our fucking salvation is?
Of a black woman erected in Times Square in New York. The statue allegedly has been erected because there's 2 statues of white men in Times Squares. So now black people were like, well, if there are going to be 2 white men there, we need to put a statue of a black woman there. The statue is of a black female with braids, plus size, with this like curmudgeon look on her face. What is the point of that? Like, what is the point of that? And then there's been another statue, a 13-foot statue, and I'm going to insert the clips of a black woman in gold, a gold black statue that they're supposedly erecting somewhere, allegedly in Italy. She has her hair pulled back and she's on her cell phone. And the statue was so tall that there's a kid in between her legs taking a selfie, like taking a picture with the statue. What is the point? Like, this is just like when black people were putting up statues of George Floyd, who was literally a criminal. Like, the black culture, like, what are you guys doing? And then they want to say that there's this other group of people that are racist. No, actually, it's black people, to me, my opinion, that are the ones that are fueling racism. Everything has to be the race card. Did you hear Jasmine Crockett's commencement speech at that university? Like, what was she talking about? When are you, black people, going to realize that you guys are being used as a pawn, and because of whatever people's agendas are, you're the ones that are going to suffer. White people are not the racist. Asians are not. You guys are falling in line with the culture that they want to depict to the world. Why does it have to be a plus size model in Times Square representing black women? And why does she have to look like that? And why is the 13-foot giant statue of another black female on her cell phone? What is that showing for the culture? And don't even get me started with the Met Gala, because the theme was supposed to be dandyism. And so it was supposed to be like black designers and black fashion. Tell me why half of the people, if not more, were there dressed in designers that were not black designers. And you guys went there, and then you saw the girl who has the anxiety song yelling and screaming at her staff. And now it's all over the internet. That's the representation. No one's looking at her outfit. They're looking at her behavior. There's another black woman acting the way they typically act. And they're in my comments on my Instagram, just so typical. And you guys don't care, but you're always talking about the culture. Like, what culture? There's no culture. Black people are ruining their own culture. Let me know down in the comments. Do you agree? Because this is not all black people. This is just, there's a group of y'all that are making it bad for all of the normal, regular people who don't buy into any of that nonsense. I want the people who are agreeing with what I'm saying to come into the comments and let me know, why do you think there's a large portion of black people who want the black culture to just be gone, like just disseminated, gone away? Or how many of you guys feel like the black culture misrepresents you? Because it damn sure misrepresents me. Let me know down in the comments. If you're not following me, follow me on my
that'll post the ugly picture of you or stab you in your back. Them ain't your friends. You trying to destroy me. Because you mean to tell me out of all them pictures that we took, all the 150 pictures we took, you decided on the ugliest one and you posted you trying to destroy me. I see what you're trying to do, and I'm praying that envious and jealous spirit off of you. Because you need help, and I'm going to tell you, post another one of me, and you will be blocked while you on earth.
Can that last woman shut up? Can she shut up? Is she not a black woman? Who is she? Because I don't understand this brouhaha that she's doing. Who is she? Can she just shut the F up, sip the key, and trash it? What culture are you talking about? That they erected a status that black people know nothing about, and you are here saying BS. That white people are not the racist. Yes, we are, right? You are just I have something. My spirit led me to tell her that she is a moron. And that is what she is. You should write in the comment section. I saw the comment section. And they are saying, and they said that we shouldn't bring back something Jemima and all that. Some people are really moving wild, sincerely speaking. And now, wait, what is even the meaning of, why did she actually make this video? Because I am trying to, oh, man, sometimes this work is really very hard. Because sometimes you have so much to pour out. And sometimes you cannot pour it out because they will restrict you. For some days, I've been struggling with my videos. My videos are being restricted. Oh my God. Now let's get into it. Okay, now, what's this man's name? Agent Orange. Still remember that black people built this country, all right? But he is still the same person that is taking away the DEI and all that, trash all the book, removing all the black historical this thing. So there was a time he said that black people built this country. So what is happening now? He will swallow his word and also formate it. Because this administration, as it stands, they know what they are doing, sincerely speaking. Now let's talk about the revolution and all that. And now I am going to ask this. Do you people think that white people are ready to dismantle the system? No. Why am I saying this? I am saying this because the system benefits them. The only thing that will happen is the way they say, in the Bible, it says, the kingdom of God suffereth violence, right? And only the words shall take it, and the violence take it by force. It's in the Bible. Check it. Whatever that is going to happen will not just happen, but it should be black people taking back everything that has been taken away from them. That is how it's going to happen. Do not wait and sit down and think like, by rubbing their head and their stomach, things will get better. No, it will not. It will not. You just have to stand and do what you are supposed to do. They know why they are trying to cover up so many things, pressing up so many things. Have you sat down and asked yourself, how would a normal human being vote for Agent Orange? How will a normal human being vote for Agent Orange? That is a very huge question to ask yourself. And whatever answer you get from it will tell you a whole lot about this present administration. But it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So, black people really have to do what they are supposed to do to get to where they are supposed to get. Like the woman that said, black history is the American history. That is what it is. Black culture holds literally almost everybody. Will they believe it? They will never believe it. But I leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. In the end, I know that this victory will be black people's own. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.